Okay, this is just a test of the Brave 7 with wide dynamic range on. I was doing a little reading and they said that it might help out at night to sort of even out the light levels and such. So I'm just going to go on a quick ride and see how it looks like on YouTube for the future. So this is sort of a test, and maybe I'll talk a little bit more about this bike because I got a few extra goodies. Like, I did get that shock, and it's an awesome shock, but instead of the 850, they had a little chart there that said, oh, you need the 1,000-pound one. Fuck the chart. Go with your instincts. Get the 850. It's way too stiff, the 1,000-pound one, even though it says, oh, it's perfect for your weight and whatever. Now, it's not a bad shock. It's actually a very excellent shock. And what I'm going to do is probably go through the 800 kilometer or 500 mile break-in, because it's a coil shock. It has to be broken in. Like, it's going to be stiff right from day one and then loosen up. Because I've had it on there for maybe a day or two. Here, let's take I put it on around 550 or 560. So I've gone about 100 kilometers on it. And it's already kind of loosening up a bit. And it's wicked. It makes this bike feel like a little sport bike because it's kind of a stiffer shock, and it actually hugs the ground better because it's a coil shock. It's not like the stock shock, which is like wow, wow, you know, it's like wallowing everywhere. So it's actually a pretty decent shock. It's just I should have probably gone with the 850. Who knows? Like, once I do 800 kilometers, if it's still sort of too stiff, I'll just bite the bullet and pay an extra $60 and, you know, get the 850. But we're just going to do a little sort of night ride downtown, basically. This is more for me, actually, but I'm going to put it on my YouTube so you guys can see it. See if this wide dynamic range plus the night scene makes it, like, easier to see and whatnot. So we're not going to do, like, a crazy video, but, you know, hey, it's a nice little night ride. You get to watch a night ride. And maybe I'll talk a little bit about this screen, because I really like this screen. And I've noticed something here. See how there's a ride time here? This is actually very correct. But the ride time only runs when you're above 1 kilometer an hour. So this is the time, which unfortunately, as soon as you take the battery off, it'll reset it, which is kind of retarded. Like, what, they didn't think that people would recharge their e-bikes? Like, did Billy Wong fuck this up? Like, like, who thought of this? Like, it's dumb. Like, it's an e-bike. It needs to be recharged. Oh, wow. Fuck. But anyway, it actually keeps the time. If you take off the battery, it'll keep the time for maybe an hour or so, and then it'll reset. So if you do go on a long trip, you know, then it's worth it to set the clock. What I do is, if I'm not going on a long trip and I don't care about the time, I just use it as the run time of the bike. Because look, this says 5 minutes, but the run time says 3 minutes. Because, you know, I've been stopping at stoplights or whatever. So this is like the total time that I've been on the bike. That's what I look at it as. Now, if I'm going on a long ride, then it's worth setting the clock, right? Because even if you know, change your batteries or go for a little lunch or something like that, it'll still keep the time. But all they needed to do was put a watch battery in this. That's all they needed to do. Put a watch battery. The clock would run for fucking ever. Like, in fact, have a watch battery with a waterproof door so you can replace the watch battery. And then this would run it'd be fine. It'd be perfect. It'd be 10 out of 10. Now, it is a little hard to see it in the daytime, and that's just due to the fact that it's basically a laptop display. I wish it was a little bit better in the daytime, but that's just the nature of it. It's like if you get your laptop and look at something in the sun, it's going to be a little harder to see. Now, fortunately, I can always see the speedometer, even with sun directly on it, because look, it's like a big white numbers against a black background. You're always going to see it. So yeah, I might not see the little voltage and, you know, the PAS levels very well or anything like that, but it's still legible. And if there's any sort of cloud cover, you know, you see everything. So it only sort of gets bad if there's like direct sun on it. But how I have it is, see, I can tilt it up and down. So generally it's not too much of an issue, but that's just the nature of the screen, right? Like if you get your, you know, cell phone screen and put it in the sun, it's going to be hard to read. It's the same thing, right? But, oh fuck, this might be fun. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do something else. Because otherwise we'll never get anywhere. Because it's like Sunday night, but tomorrow's a holiday, so it's basically like a Saturday night. I thought it might be late enough because it's like 2 in the morning. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to sneak by on Wellington. Now see how when I stop, how it's still kind of running a little bit? It does that on the standard screen too. The reason for that is this controller only has one speed sensor. So, you know, there's like a click, 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 click. So if there's no clicks, it's got to calculate that there's nothing coming through in the time. It does it on the stock speed sensor, the stock display as well. It's just the nature of the controller. Also, see how it has a watt meter under here. This doesn't work because, again, the controller doesn't have an amp display. If it had an amp display, I'm assuming it would just calculate the voltage times whatever amps you're putting through and have the watts. That's not the fault of the display. That's just, you know, the way the controller is. So here, we're gonna do this. Okay, go. Like, hello, wake up! Oh, fucking guy, man. Fucking guy. It's like, what, I'm not allowed to go? Like, I let the one guy go, and then it's okay, now it's my turn, and Billy Wong goes through. It's like you're reinforcing the Chinese driver stereotype. Like, stop it. But anyway, this is basically more for the camera than, you know, anything that I've done on the bike. But I just mentioned a few things. I'm going to do like proper reviews on all this stuff anyway, so. See, we can kind of sneak by here instead of getting caught with all those people. It's the only thing I don't like about living in Little Italy. To get to the places where you can really ride in quiet and the beach and stuff, you got to go across downtown. So it's always like packed and hellish. But it's good for the contrast. Okay, thank you. But it is a nice display. It's very, very accurate. I got this to GPS, basically. within like 100 meters, like after about 40 kilometers, it was showing 100 meters too high. 0.1 of a kilometer. What's that, like a fifth, not even like not even a tenth of a mile, 20th of a mile, I don't know, whatever 100 meters is. So it's very, very accurate. That's why I'm going to keep this, even with, you know, it sort of being a little gimpy in the sun, because I can always still read the speedometer on it. So, you know, now there are things you can buy, like shades that you can buy that are for cell phones, but it fits anything, sort of like a universal shade. So I guess if it annoys me that much, I can just get one of those universal shades and put it around here, and then that would shade it, you know, for the sun, but I'm probably not even going to bother. Maybe I'll throw it in the description if I find it again. You just look up cell phone shades. It's for people that have cell phones on their bikes, right? It's actually a shade that'll go around the cell phone, and this is basically a little cell phone, so, you know, it's create some more shading for it, that's all, so you can read it better in the daytime. But, you know, considering even with it a full sun on it, I can still read the speedometer, which is kind of the most important. I'm not really that concerned about it, you know. Okay, let's go. See, a little sneaky action here. Yeah, see, like going around turns is awesome with this new shock, especially with these street tires. That's what I'm saying. It's a great shock. I should have listened to myself and said, yeah, I'll go with the 850, not the 1000. Like, fuck their chart. Their chart's wrong. Now, I'm going to break it in, so I'm going to go the 800 kilometers before I decide, I'll throw another 60 bucks, because they're pretty cheap, the shocks. And I got the rebound dampening all the way, like, to the lowest setting, so it's going to really work the coil, which might break it in, right? It's going to loosen that coil up. It's just a little stiff, that's all. But it hugs the road very well. And to be fair, the bumper stop has been hit. So, you know, at one point it did do a full travel on it. So, you know, it did use the full travel. So it could use a little softer spring, that's all. I think if I went with the 850, it would be perfect. If you're really light, then maybe a 650 would be better, you know? Like, look, I'm going all through this. Shock's handling it perfectly, no problem. Sticking to the road. Yeah, see how there's a little bit? I think that's why it'll report slightly above after, you know, like 30, 40 kilometers, because, you know, it still thinks it's moving for a little bit. And all those little things where the more you stop and it thinks you're moving and you're not, it just kind of creeps up the distance a little bit. But it's very minor. It's not the display, it's the controller, because it only has one speed sensor. Like some other bikes will have like 2 or 3. It makes it more accurate. Like it's faster because it has more data, right? It has more clicks. Like think of it like those old school, you know, digital speedometers where there's a magnet and it's just going around your wheel, click, click, click. Obviously, the more clicks you have and the faster they are, the better it gets. Like as soon as you start moving, you know, it's accurate. If you totally stop and there's no clicks, it's doing it by time. So it has a certain number of, you know, seconds it needs to go, oh, there's no clicks. Okay, well, we're just reducing this here. Look, Like, watch. If I see how I'm still rolling and it's fine and it's fine and it's fine, and then I stop. See? There's a little bit. Like for a second, it thinks you're like crawling along. So I think that's what it does. It does the same sort of thing on the stock display, right? Because there's no data, so it's just guessing. It goes, oh, well, there's no click. Oh, shit. Obviously, once you're moving and it's going click, 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 you know, it's got plenty of data. Tighten up these mirrors, maybe. Yeah, and this is accurate, the voltage. Now, how the battery bars work, or, you know, the guessometer, it actually does better. It has some sort of sag compensation because it's only accurate when you're moving and there's load under the on the controller, which is what I want. Why do I want to stop and wait 10 minutes to look at the battery bar when I could be moving and look down and the battery bars are pretty accurate? Like if you're like at say 47 volts or something like that, like half, right? At 47 it'll be like 3/4, but as soon as you start moving and have a load, it'll show half. Because that's more useful. It's like if you're moving down the road, why do you want to stop to look and see if you actually have battery? If you love the battery bars. I don't give a shit because there's a voltage meter on it, but if you do love that, if you're like a battery bar enthusiast, I don't know, whatever, you know, like, then you'll love this. But just remember that it's only accurate once you're moving and under load. So, you know, as you're driving down the street and you're like, doo-doo-doo, you can look down and it'll show proper, like, how much battery percentage. Maybe a little bit later in the ride, I'll show you. I'll try to get it down to, you know, like, look, see, the bike's been on for 19 minutes, but the ride time's 14. Because look, I'm stopped and look, the clock stops. Now, as soon as I start going, see, now it starts moving. Now it starts blinking like, hi, I'm recording the ride time. So even though this clock is kind of fucked, because every time you take off the battery, it basically resets, you could just not bother with it and just use it as a total time you've actually had the bike on. So it's still sort of useful. And like I said, if you go on a long ride, you could set the clock because you're going to be riding all day, and it'll still keep the time, no problem. Because what I did is I had the bike on. You don't have to have the display on, but you have to have the battery on. Right? I put the battery on all night, you know, just before midnight, and it, you know, the day moved, the clock was correct, you know, it actually works, but they were fucking high or something and said, oh, well, I guess e-bikes never need to be charged. They last forever. Like, what? Like, like, what were they thinking? Like, it could have been solved with a 20-cent watch battery. Like, why? Like, what? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go left here. There's no one behind me. It's late at night, so. running on the 14 amp right now. I'm just trying to give the 17 amp a break, because that's what I use for work. Because come middle of September, I'm back to work. It'll also show you how the battery bars will work, because, you know, they'll go down faster. Also, this will be a real range test, because all those range tests I did are totally fucking useless, because that the stock display totally underreported, like by like 20% or more of the distance. So it's like I got to do all the range tests again, basically, which is a pain in the ass. There, fuck it. Hey buddy, let's you know, sober up or whatever. It's like, fuck. Oh, he's turning on the Don Valley. Gotta watch. I'm gonna tighten up the mirrors. But yeah, I'm gonna do a break-in on this shock, just to say, yeah, okay, I followed your fucking stupid chart, you know. You said 1,000, I wanted to go 850, so I did your 1,000, and it's too much. Just to show you guys too, so you'll know. So it's like, oh, you're not gonna piss away 60 bucks getting a 1,000-pound shock and go, oh, well, this is stupid. So here, let me just tighten up these a little bit. There we go. Just tighten them up a bit. There we go. So we're just going to do a little bit of Thompson Park to test these camera settings. I'm not going to go bonkers today. This road is horrible. Because Thompson doesn't have any lights. Like, there's no street lights, there's nothing. Here, let me push the button. Okay. Yeah, this is more of a camera test than a Jansno shit, because but I just want to see, you know. Ooh, it's kind of chilly tonight. Here, I'll put it down to 3. So we're not doing a speed run. See, there's no lights here. Just want to see if the camera can pick up anything. Thank God for this headlight, though. This headlight's pretty decent. Someone lost their soccer ball. Someone's on the trail. Fucking speed bumps are just stupid. It's like no cars come down here. No cars. Like, see, but this is a good test of this camera. Because there's nothing. This is like being in the middle of the country, basically. I'm gonna slow down. Speed bumps here are bad. At the beginning of the trail, they aren't too bad. We're not going much farther. I'm only going half, basically, of what I normally do. Oh, you can hear the geese honking out there. see how dark it is? Because of all these trees, even the lights from the city don't get over here. There, here's the end of this little bit. I didn't go for like a full... Oh, well, there's a skunk. So let's turn around, shall we? Here, hold on. Can you hear the geese? Yeah, you hear that? No. Yeah, if you like wildlife, come here at night. Here, while I'm here, and you know, we don't have to worry about traffic or something, take a look at this. You see how this is like blinking the ride time? Because we're actually moving more than 1 kilometer an hour. Now watch here, I'll stop. And as soon as it stops, look, ride time stops blinking because it pauses it. So that ride time is actually accurate. I thought it was inaccurate because I was going by the clock, right? So I figured, oh, it's just a dumb, you know, counter when you turn on the bike. But no, it actually does ride time. If you're not moving, it stops because you're not riding. So that's kind of handy. It's actually better if you think about it. So it's actually giving you a proper ride time, and the controller temperature works. So that's good. So all in all, I'd say the display's pretty decent. You know, I wish a few things worked, like the clock and the watt meter, but the watt meter is not the display's fault, it's the controller's fault. And the clock is just, they fucked up. Like, it's basically an automotive clock. Have you ever guys had a clock in your car or on your motorcycle where you take the battery off to change the battery once every 5 years or whatever, and you got to reset the clocks? That's the same thing as this. But this is on a fucking e-bike. Like, didn't they think, like, yeah, e-bikes take the battery off a lot, you know, they charge the bike a lot. Maybe we should put a watch battery in there. You know what I mean? The only way I could see this clock work is if, like, I used to have an apartment, right? So what I do is I just put the bike in the apartment and I just charge the bike, you know, charge the battery on the bike. So if you did that, where, you know, the battery's on and you're charging it on the bike all the time, then yeah, the clock will stay on forever because the battery's on the bike and providing, you know, the controller with power. Because what it's basically running on is, if you take the battery off the bike, it's basically running off the little bit of charge that the capacitor in the controller has and whatever's in the wiring harness. And that'll run for like, the most I've seen it run was like 2 hours or something with the battery off. So even that little dinky amount of power can power it for 2 hours. Imagine what a watch battery can power it for. Years. The bike will die before the watch battery runs out. You know what I mean? Like, what? I don't know what the fuck they were thinking, but like, you know, like, it's just like laziness or stupidity. One of them is at fault. Laziness or stupidity. One of them is at fault here. Like, if this was a motorcycle where I have the battery on the bike for 5 years before the battery goes tits up and it needs to be replaced, then hey, no problem. It's the best clock in the world because, you know, it'll run off the battery that's on the bike. But it doesn't work like that. This isn't internal combustion where the battery's on there to run the starter motor and the electrics. Runs the motor. You got to take it off and charge it. Yeah, you know. But like I said, I can use it for this, where if I turn it on, it starts at 00, like basically midnight. Look, the bike's been on 43 minutes. And I've got 35 minutes runtime. So, you know, it's still useful. And like I said, if you're going for an all-day run, well, then it's worth it to set the clock because, you know, at least it'll, you know, you're getting like hours out of it, right? Before you get off. But if you're just going to the store and back, you know, it's not even worth setting the clock. Like, what's the point, right? So that's the only thing that I don't like about this display. And I wish it was a little brighter, because this display has like 6 different protocols. It'll work with basically anything, right? Like this is number 2 protocol for this. This is like an older protocol. It's number 2 for this bike, this Jansno X50. But it has number 2, UART, what else did it have? Like it had like, I don't know, I can look in the manual, but it has like 6 different, like you can make this display work with anything, which is a great feature, right? And it's hyper accurate. Like I have this down to GPS levels of accuracy. So, you know, it's got a lot of good shit going for it. It's just somewhat Billy Wong fucked up the clock. Like why? And they could have made it brighter. That's it. Like it could have been a 10 out of 10. Now it's a 7 out of 10, maybe even 6, because if you don't like this sort of display or whatever. And the only reason why is 2 points are off because someone was dumb enough to put the clock where there wasn't a watch battery attached to it, and 1 point off for the display being a little dim in the daytime. Now I know that's hard, because, you know, like I said, with even, you know, you take out your cell phone and it's hard to read, right? But they could have made it a little bit higher contrast, that's all. You know, just a little bit brighter, because this is on the highest brightness level right now, right? So, and look, I like this. Like, look, see how there's an analog dial as I slow down, this dial goes? I like that because I can look out of the corner of my eye and I know if I'm around here, I'm at like 30. So, you know, like you know, put it this way, it stays green until 25. Here, let's go up to 25, which is 15 miles an hour. And then see, now it starts going into yellow. And then at 50, which is the top of the screen, it starts going red. Because I've had it that high before. So, you know, that's a kind of a cool feature because I can see out of the corner. If I'm not even reading the number, I know that this bar is up here. I know kind of what my speed is. Now, I wish they had numbers here, but I know I know that's 25. I know that's 37.5, and I know that's 50. So, you know, I know where the numbers are, but if they put the numbers on there, it would be even better. But, you know, whatever. it does it. Who cares, right? Push the button. Because yeah, look, it's accurate time, 8th of August. 8th of, so I guess if I ride this bike at 8th of August on midnight and I don't change the clock, like look, you can change the clock. See, look, it's got a wicked display in here. Like, you know, there's many options. It's a great thing. They just screwed up on a couple of the fundamental shit things. That's all. And it wasn't necessary. And like I said, I'm going to keep it just for the accuracy of the speedometer and the odometer, because the stock display is a total piece of shit when it comes to that. It's a $13 display, the stock display, put it that way, on AliExpress. Canadian. So that's what, like $8, $9 American? Yeah, it's crap. It's crap. Now, it does the job. You know what I mean? It'll, you know, you can set it to have either the odometer or the speedometer correct, but not both. This does both. See, look, see how I'm getting, as I'm getting up in speed? The little bar circle thing runs around or whatever, goes higher. So that's kind of nice, because sometimes I won't look at what the speed is, but I can see where the little speedometer bar or whatever the fuck they want to call it is doing. And see how I'm under load and it's saying half? Because when I let off, look, I'm at about 47.2 volts. That's about half. That's just over half. So when you're under load on pedal assist 5 going down the road, see, look, so see how it starts turning yellow, the voltage display? It actually is accurate now. So it's actually compensating for the sag. I'm gonna get this fucking thing. It's too slow. So it actually works. Like, look, it's saying I'm at half, and I am at half, but it only works under load. This road is fucking horrible. So that's why I'm saying it's actually better than having it where, oh, I have to stay and sit in a place for 10 minutes. Because it'll tell you when you're actually running down the road what you're really at. So it's sagging to 45, but it's saying that I'm at half, because as soon as I let off the throttle, it'll creep up to half. See, 47.1. So yeah, I'm about half. So I like that better. I don't care because I go by the voltage, but if you don't know voltage, or, oh, I don't want to deal with it, sorry, whatever, then you can use the bars here, but just be advised that they're only accurate when you're under load and moving. See, now the bars are fine because I'm going down the road and I'm moving, which is better because you can look down and go, oh, while you're driving, instead of having to stop to figure out, you go, oh, good, I'm around half, and it gives you a voltage. Because we've been doing 5 pretty much this whole ride, except for that just down at Tommy Thompson. And I'm at half, and I'm at 21 kilometers. So yeah, this will probably do 40 kilometers. That's 25 miles on this. This is the dinky battery. You know, at 5, you know, really pushing it. Oh shit, it's starting to rain. Well, I guess we'll test out the waterproofness of this camera. Supposedly good to 10 meters or something. Yeah, see, look, I'm at 46.8 on the voltage meter, but see how when I'm not on the throttle, how it has all the bars here? But when I'm under load, which is more important, it'll actually show what the bars are. Watch. See? Now it'll go yellow and go to half. See? Because it knows that I'm really at a higher voltage level than what I am under sag. So it has some sort of sag compensation, which is like my old GoTrax bike, which I really liked. I like that. The bars actually worked. Because most bars are just kind of dumb. They just read off the voltage without compensating for the sag. Yeah, I might have to redo all the range tests on this, because this is accurate. I'll see. They're kind of a pain in, well, every range test I did, it was like the worst weather ever, like, you know, hurricanes and fucking, I'll wait till the next hurricane and then I'll do another range test. The fuck? Trying to turn, or I don't know. Yeah, like, what are you doing? Like, oh, there's like a drunk behind me or something. Okay, there we go. Look. We're back going home. Yeah, see, I'm pulling down to 44.5, but it knows that I'm at half battery. When I let off, 46.7 or something. You know what I mean? Like, it knows that I'm around half, not. Now, I don't know if it goes to red or, you know, I haven't got down the voltage that far. Probably. If it changes from green to yellow when you get to half, I'm assuming it goes down for, you know, it goes to red or something. Yeah, 46.7. I bet you if I sat here a bit, it'd be 46.8, you know, half, basically. So it's smart enough to know. Gotta watch it. There's a lot of drunks out. The bars have just got out. It's a city that never sleeps. It's like 3 in the morning and there's like people out on my ass. There's a lot of cop cars out tonight. Weird. There's cop cars up there. There's cop cars down there. I wonder what's going on. Oh, people getting tits up. There's no one around and I got a walk signal. I guess we'll look at the footage when I get home. It's about an hour right now of filming. That's why I was saying I do like that clock is kind of fucked up sometimes, because look, I can say, oh look, I've turned on for an hour with 50 minutes of actual ride time. See, and then the ride time stops because I'm stopped. Ride time stops. As soon as it goes to 1, it starts up again, starts counting again. Yeah, so we'll see about this shock. I might just bite the bullet and just, well, it's only $60 or something, right? So it's like, all right, I wasted $60. We'll see. Oh shit. Alright, let's get out of the way. There's an ambulance. Oh shit, I'm gonna miss the light. Oh well, that's alright. Such is life. Alright. 46.4, 25 kilometers. So I'm at half, 25, yeah. 25, 30 miles probably on this little dinky battery. With, you know, a little bit of restraint and, you know, mostly raping. So, it's not bad. Because this is like real. This is like GPS calibrated. None of this, you know, hopefully it'll work, odometer. Water there. They must have a sprinkler system or something. Signal at the last second while you sit there, like, that's what I'm saying. You gotta watch it. Like, they're either drunk or just shit, or they're drunk and shit. That's the worst one. Like, yeah, okay, I've got a lot of experience. I've been riding for 40 years, but still, like, you can't be, like, it's impossible to be that shit. The way some people drive, I'm like, it's impossible. You can't be this shit. Like, how did you pass your test? How did you pass? It's like, okay, you didn't crash. Okay, you pass. It didn't. They fluked out that day.
You have cigarettes?
No, do you?
I have plenty of them in Czechoslovakia. You want to kill me?
No. But it's a little bit of a ride to Czechoslovakia. It's a I could use a cigarette. I can. Don't have any. Sorry. Yeah. That's our local Czechoslovakian cigarette dealer. I hope you. It's, you know. His name's Mr. Miroslav. He's great. He's the fuck. Oh, I missed the light like a little bitch. I missed the light like a little bitch. Yeah, see, when it gets under 46 volts, it turns yellow. That's what I'm saying. I'm wondering, one day I will do a test and see, like, what colors it changes to, just for fun. But like I said, it's inaccurate when you stop, but it's accurate when you move. Like, watch, we'll go up the street. Just watch this. Just watch the little thing. We have a little bit under half. So see how it turns yellow? See, and now it's a little bit under half when I'm under load. So it's showing the proper bar when I'm under load, like when I'm driving, basically. So at least you don't have to stop. And if you do stop, you got a voltage so you can see what it is, right? People are a little frisky tonight. A little Yeah, turning with the shock is awesome. It's too tough. So we'll have to see. I'll do the 800. Oh, what? It did go red. See, look, it's turning red when it gets really down. Because I'm really gunning it. So that's cool. It does turn to red. Nice. Because I'm going up a hill in pedal assist 5 full throttle. So we'll change to red. That's nice. Because we're under 50%, right? So I guess that's what it's doing. Yeah, we're at 45 volts. We're about 2 volts under. We're probably around 30-40% maybe. And look, yeah, we've gone 30 kilometers. I'd have to stop and, you know, wait 10 minutes. But anyway, there you go.